Hey guys, hi, welcome back. I have been gone for like a month, but here I am getting that one video in a month like I said I would. Uh, I've got little babe with me now. Those of you who are new to my channel, I had a baby this month and he is coming up on 1 month old actually. He was born December 2nd, so that's super exciting. And I can't really get away from this little guy for too long, so if you hear him in the background, that's him eating. So you might hear a little bit of lip smacking or heavy breathing as he's struggling with those tiny little newborn nostrils sometimes. So sorry about that. But yeah, we got a painting of an eye, a gouache eye today. And I thought I would just kind of touch on my process a little bit, kind of have some thoughts on the whole paint strokes and how many paint strokes should you have in your painting. But we'll kind of get to that a little bit later. And just give you guys a few life updates. I mean, the big one is that I just had a baby. Obviously, I just told you guys that. And I also have an 18-month-old at home. So life's been a little crazy, but my husband has been a superhero. He's just been absolutely amazing. And I actually feel better this time around than I did with my first kid. They always say there's like the transition 0 to 1 or 1 to 2, like which one's harder for you. And I thought this one was going to be a lot harder, and I've got plenty of time for it to turn into that, I guess. We're only at month 1, but so far it's been really good, actually. My 18-month-old first week was super hesitant, obviously. Wasn't really a big fan of the baby, but after about a week, he's really warmed up to him and is really involved in, like, burping his brother and trying to give him his nook, and it's really sweet actually. I love, like, he gives him kisses on his head goodnight. It's really cute. So that's been good. I'm really lucky for that. And this little guy, and you probably just heard him right there, he's actually been really awesome. He's overall a pretty good sleeper if we can get the gas under control for him. He might be allergic to dairy. We're kind of trialing eliminating dairy from my diet right now to see if that helps him. But other than that, he's been a dream. And it's just been really nice kind of staying cooped up in our house. We didn't really celebrate the holidays with our family like we normally would. We've been, sorry, you probably hear the baby in the background again there. We've been trying to avoid germs and avoid lots of like large gatherings, I guess you'd say. We didn't really want to expose the baby since he's so young this early to a lot of germs. So we've just been kind of hanging out on our own, doing things 2020 style, if you know what I mean. But that's kind of been like a little blessing in disguise. It's been nice being just like cozy at home with my family. I've enjoyed it. But anywho, let's talk about this painting a little bit. So I did a gouache eye in my sketchbook. I used my my Himi gouache paints, the 112 cup ones. Sorry, it's been a minute since I painted these eyes. I had to think back. Anyways, this little painting right here, clearly, because you guys just watched me do it, is a trust the process kind of moment. It was a hot mess for a while, and if you were to peek in my studio at the earlier points of this painting, you'd be like, damn, maybe she should watch a painting or a video on how to paint an eye. She doesn't know what she's doing. But now we're here and you see that it is actually working out. So clearly you just have to wait, see how it comes together. Trust yourself. It's going to be really ugly in the beginning, but it is going to work out. Just keep persevering, keep adding those layers. And I like to do this weird thing where I save things for last in my painting. Like, let me explain. Like some people, like, I feel like they paint in that whole top to bottom, left to right, very organized look. Sorry, the baby is just making noises in the back. But they like paint like a printer. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Like where they literally just like print out the painting like with their brush. It's crazy. It's freaking cool to watch. I don't paint like that. And then there's other people who paint in layers and they're very strategic and they know what they're doing is what it looks like. And I feel like I don't know what I'm doing and I look like I don't know what I'm doing. I jump all over the painting, waiting to see what catches my eye, what I feel needs attention in that moment. I have a little bit of a strategy, but mostly I'm winging it and trusting the process, right? But I also like to save like my favorite part for last. I don't know why I do this. It's kind of strange. Like highlights, for example, which highlights naturally come last, but they're really fun when you get to add them because they have such an impact. But with this eye, I just like kept putting off painting that iris. And I'm sure you noticed that when you're watching the process. Like it was just ugly, ugly, ugly. Oh, she finally added the iris. Now it actually is starting to look like something. Do that, don't do that. Totally up to you, but it was so much fun because it like again it had such an impact when I finally added that element that it was like bam and it all came together. So I don't know. I don't even know why I'm mentioning all of that. Random thoughts that I feel like yapping about because I really didn't know what to do for this voiceover. I just know that I need to get this video done. I promised at least one video on YouTube a month, one to myself and to all of you. And I want to hold up on my promise. So we're yapping. Something else I was thinking about a lot with this whole process video, this painting video, is I struggle with knowing like if I'm doing too much with my paint strokes and if that like represents how good or not good I am at art. It's a really crude way of putting it, but like how practiced I am, I guess. I can try to explain that a little better. Like, have you ever seen those videos where people go, oh, watch me paint this portrait in 50 brush strokes or less? And it's usually oil painters and like they've got a really big brush and they block in the details and they use very minimal paintbrush strokes to create a beautiful painting. It's super cool. And I'm like, wow, that is so cool. And I see lots of artists recommending that you should paint this way if you want to get good at painting. And like, I see how this advice could be helpful and it would probably make you improve your work because you're going to be more intentional. And it also probably helps keep you from getting overwhelmed. Oh my goodness, this little baby's so noisy. And it probably also helps you from overworking your painting. But like I said, I like to jump around all over my painting and whatever needs my attention in that moment, I'm just going to work on that. And I also like to blend. I like to dab and add texture. And I don't know, like, is it that necessary to limit your brush strokes when you're painting? Or is that just more of a skill that people like to have just to say they have it? I don't really know. If a painting turns out the way I wanted it to look anyways, then who cares how many brush strokes it took? I never finished a fine art school. I got like an art education major, and then the rest of what I've done is self-taught, if you will. So I never really got to like dive deep into painting. I just took a couple intro classes. But if you've ever had an art education major, you would know that you have to do like the intro class to every type of medium. So it's kind of not really great in that sense because you don't get to get good at any one particular medium. You just have a lot of foundational knowledge about all the mediums. So maybe there's something to this whole limited brushstroke thing that I'm unaware of, but it just doesn't seem that big a deal. I don't know. If anyone has more knowledge on this, let me know in the comments because I'm curious. But for me, it just seems like if it turned out the way you wanted it to, then great. Who cares how you got there? So yeah, other random thought I've had while working on this sketchbook page, which I've only got 3 eyes done. I already ran a poll on Instagram saying that I wanted to do the 4th eye, and you guys voted for which eye that should be. I believe it was the one right to the right of this eye in the middle here. But dude, it is so hard to find time right now to paint, which I knew was going to be the case. I knew this was going to happen. I have an 18-month-old, or I guess he's 19 months old now, and a newborn. And I decided to start this YouTube channel in October. Like, what was I thinking? But we're going to try to figure it out. I've got 1 month to make another video for you guys. I've been working on a little painting that I started before baby A here was born. Hopefully I can find some time in the next couple weeks to finish it and continue recording that process for you guys. But I would love some ideas going forward into the new year of what kind of videos do you guys want to see. I've done a lot of painting process videos and like paint and chats with me. What else do you want to see? Do you want me to do more paint and chat videos? Do you want more studio vlog kind of content? It's not much of a studio vlog. It's an hour of my night basically. Like, this is what it looks like. I could do more mom content, like, hey, this is what it looks like, trying to balance. Sorry, the little dude is grunting while eating, and what babies do. My bad. Or his bad, I guess. What was I talking about? Oh, like stay-at-home mom content. Do you want, like, how I balance being a mom with an artist? I don't know. I can give you guys some advice on that. I've got some experience, clearly. So yeah, I've asked you to comment a lot of random things below in the video. You don't actually have to comment all that stuff. But the one I'm most curious about actually is, yeah, what kind of videos do you want to see? And do you think the number of brushstrokes you paint with is important? That one I actually really want to know. But yeah, until next time, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I know we're in between all of it and we passed Christmas, but I hope you've had a good end of your year. See you in the new one.